Hi friends, welcome back to our channel, Life with the Jacksons. I'm Brenda, otherwise known as B, and I'm sharing my journey of my Hashimoto's. In our last video, I was considering consulting with Dr. Pompa and going through his services, but based on personal reasons, I have decided not to. So what I decided to do is find a health practitioner that dealt with functional medicine, primarily with thyroid and hormones. What I was really looking for is someone that I could sit down with, someone that I can talk to in regards to my symptoms, my concerns, without being pressured to pay $9,000, but rather than pay as I go during the treatment phases. I needed to have a program, someone that can walk me through. I need someone to say, this is what you need to do, bang, 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 and I'll follow it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to break down the cost at the end just to explain what the cost was during my treatment. And again, this is just the first phase of it. So let's get at it. So my first appointment that I had, it was in depth. We went through these questionnaires, crazy questionnaires, right back to my childhood in regards to any trauma, any mold, anything that could affect me growing up. And of course, for those who know me personally, I've gone through a lot, just growing up, drugs, mold, miscarriages, feeling ill. There were so many things that weren't unanswered, and nobody ever dove into seeing exactly what it was. They just put a Band-Aid over things over the last 54 years. The next step, of course, you're going to have your blood panel done. So I did that, and it was a little bit more extensive from what I was used to. So they want to know what your blood is. They want to have their reports. They'll have you might have to sign a release form for to get information from the other doctor. I had blood panels done, not just what my other functional doctor did, but additional ones in regards to co-infection, mold, etc. So with my blood panel, when it came back, it's surprising, but not so much surprising, because I know that certain things were just not adding up. So my numbers for the Hashimoto's were still the same. The hormones were still the same. I haven't had a pellet treatment since last fall, so we know that I have zero hormones in me at this point in time, as well as they found co-infection. It's the same test as the Lyme disease, but it's co-infection and possible findings of mold. Of course, we have to end up going into the body, and instead of putting a Band-Aid on everything, we want to make sure that we are finding the root of it. But let's be clear, what we all want to do when we have Hashimoto's, we don't want to have any more inflammation. We don't want to have the headaches. We don't want to have the weight gain. We don't want to have the fogginess. We don't want to have lost libido. There's several things. Apparently there's over 300 symptoms for Hashimoto's. So I want to get, again, to look at my personal situation to see what's going to work for me. So the first phase is having that commitment, making sure that you really want to do this. What's the next step? So she made out a plan, and the first thing was to detox. What that entails is that, I'll show you here, it's called Core Restore, and it removes, resets, and revitalizes your cell. So your liver needs a little bit of help to get those toxins out. It's harder than what you think. And some of the food that we're used to eating, yeah, it's gone. All the good stuff is gone, but you start to get used to it. And let me tell you, so day 8's gone, day 9, I'm on day 10 right now. For me personally, I like to have something that I can follow, something that guides me, and some instructions along the way. So I have the Core Restore, it's up there. And what it consists of a protein powder, and it has the microcore and the phytocore. Don't know if I'm saying it right. And the all the recipes, information in this book. It's also online, so you can follow. It has recipes because there is a strict diet that you do have to follow. So basically, there's no dairy, there's no gluten, there's no refined sugars, no sugar, anything pretty much that's healthy you can eat. So whole foods is what you're looking for. So you're doing that for 7 days. Now, believe me, the first 4 days for me, I was sicker than a dog. I had a headache, I had body aches, I felt nauseated, and I didn't know if I wanted to go through this. By day 5 to 7, I felt fantastic. I didn't have the bloating, I didn't have the inflammation. It just felt like my sausage fingers were going down, my tummy was starting to go down, and in fact I even lost 5 pounds, which my intention is not to lose 5 pounds. It's trying to restore my cells and clean out my liver. The Core Restore Detox is more than just a cleanse. So I'm just going to read what it says in here. It's designed to target the root of inflammation and toxicity in the body. So it helps harmful toxins, including mold, environmental chemicals, and build up waste that your liver cannot filter out on its own. To reset, the phase supports liver function, balances blood sugar, and gets digestive system working optimally again. So that's the key. Now, the day 8 is when I start to reintroduce all of my vitamins that I previously took, like vitamin C, my vitamin B, my omega-3. So I'm introducing all of that back. On day 9, I'm starting off with a new regime. I am taking out my cheat notes here because I'm just starting this phase as well. So it's called a herbal protocol for Lyme and co-infection. So I don't have Lyme disease, but the co-infection and Lyme disease go hand in hand. So they're starting here based on my blood panel and my questionnaire and the answers to it. So I'm doing that, as well as I'm following this low-inflammatory diet. It's tough, but they give you a list of things that you can and can't eat. Do you know that most coffee has mold? So it's crazy when you start to read and go into a little bit more about what causes inflammatory within our bodies. It's crazy. So now with this with a herb, I start taking certain herbs back in, and it's being layered in. So every three days I have to introduce things back in, which I'll share which it is, because I don't even know how to say half of the stuff. So I will have it on the next video on how that's going. But you're supposed to have die-off. You're supposed to be feeling, you may feel sick. Everybody, experiences it differently. So for the healthcare provider, it was approximately $600. For the supplements, it was about $406. For the lab work, it was $495, and some of that might be less based on your coverage for insurance. So it was $1,510. It sure beats, paying $9,000. And I don't know what the end result's going to be, but so far so good. So this is just the beginning. It's not a sprint. It's going to take a long while. It took 54 years to get me here, and I'm sure it's going to take a while for it to get all cleansed out. So I'm curious to hear what everybody else is doing. If anybody has any tips, any advice, or if you want some more information on this, just let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Let this life be our best life. Let's start feeling good again. Bye for now. Look forward to connecting with y'all.